Stop doing this while the stock market is down. I have all the details and what I want you to think about right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, now if you've been watching the stock market here over the last several months, you've been witnessing quite a bit of volatility and prices are trending lower. As a result of that, many people do become very emotional and start panicking out of positions because they don't want to lose money, which is completely understandable. However, in this video, I do want to share with you some things that you should stop doing as prices are moving lower and some things that you should start thinking about doing as prices are still low. So let's get into it as we have a lot to talk about right here in this video, and I want to give you some ideas with this great opportunity that is setting up for us right here, right now in the stock market. So let's get right into it. All right, so first off, if you are out there right now liquidating positions in the stock market because you don't want to sell money, let me tell you something. You are guaranteeing yourself a loss if you bought a position earlier at a higher price and now you are selling it, because here's why. If you are still in that position and you do not actually sell it, yes, you might be losing money, but guess what? You're losing money on paper. It is not a realized loss until you exit that position. So here's the thing. Let's just say, for example, you bought a stock at $50 a share, and this was 3 months ago, and now it's sitting at $40 a share. If you sell it now for a $10 per share loss, then guess what? You're realizing that loss. However, if you ride it out, it is just a paper loss for now, and if we fast forward, say 6 months, a year from now, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years from now, and the price all of a sudden goes up to $60, guess what? You never realize that loss. So yes, I completely understand. I have positions as well. I look at my portfolio and look at it and think, oh, this isn't fun, right? I get it. Been there, done that. It is not fun to look at this stuff, but at the same time, you also have to recognize too, you have not lost a single penny until you exit a position. Then you realize it, and that is an official loss in the books. So just remember that, because if that is your position right now, and if you're getting a little bit emotional right now looking at the stock market, don't get me wrong, most people do get very emotional, and you want to exit out of positions because you think it's going to zero, right? There's no other way that it could go other than zero. Well, that may be the case for some stocks, some ETFs, some positions, and certainly a lot of different crypto positions. But the fact of the matter is, the vast majority of equities, stocks, positions like this will not go to zero. But yes, don't get me wrong, some will absolutely go to zero. So anyway, I just want to point that out for you, because if this is your position, just please remember, it's easy to get emotional. I totally understand. Been there, done that. It's easy to do it. But remember, as soon as you push the sell button, you're now realized. It is now a realized loss, okay? But as long as it's paper loss, if it comes back someday, which it probably will, it'll be fine, right? All is good. But again, I want to point this out for you as well really quickly. Full disclaimer, this is not advice in any way, shape, or form. This is not investment advice. This is not trading advice. This is not buying or selling advice. I quickly just want to point out a few things to you to kind of better digest the stock market, as I've been following this for about 14 years every single day. I've been watching it very, very closely. You kind of get a pretty good handle on what's going on when you watch something very closely all day, every single day. You kind of understand the patterns, okay? So don't get me wrong. I've been there. I've been very emotional with the markets. Ask anybody that knows me. It hasn't been pretty for some years of my life. So just saying, okay? Just want to point that out for you, because with time and experience, you get a little bit of knowledge. So I just want to point that out as well. All right, so if this is your case, maybe reconsider. But again, I don't want to tell you what to do. I'm just trying to point out a few things for you. However, the stock market is sitting in a pretty good position right now. I do want to point out a few things. So as of about a little over a month ago, we did officially fall into a bear market, which actually was declared on June 13th of 2022. Bear market. Great. Is this a bad thing? Well, it depends. Depends how you look at the position. If you bought a whole bunch of stock in early January of this year, then yeah, this probably isn't a good thing for you, because you bought literally at the very highs of the market. The highs of the market was put in on January 3rd of 2022, and we officially fell 20% on June 13th of 2022. So you can see there, right? About 6 months, well, not even quite 6 months. And there you go, a bear market, okay? So here's how you look at it. And again, it's all perception. So here's what I want you to do. Examine your timeline. Are you in the market for a week? Are you in the market for a year? Are you in it for 5 years, 10 years, 20, 30, 40 years? What is your time horizon? So first, I want you to look at that. If you have a long-term time horizon, you should be drooling right now. I mean, seriously, like, don't be drooling all over yourself, but I'm just saying, you should be getting super excited right now, because here's the thing. you just got a 20% discount on whatever you want to buy. And again, this is the market as a whole. If you're looking at individual stocks, some stocks are down 20%, 40%, 60%, 70% in some instances. Some of these are going down really quite a bit now, and they're presenting amazing buying opportunities. So here's what I want you to think about. Rather than looking at this bear market and prices trending lower as, OMG, the sky is falling, I need to sell everything, you should be looking at this situation provided your time horizon is a few years. Now, if your time horizon is a week from now, well, then you're going to have a very different perspective. You might want to think about selling on some rallies as prices move up. But again, I highly doubt the vast majority of us are looking at a short-term horizon. Unless you're doing some short-term trading, again, that's a totally different game, okay? We can come back and talk about short-term trades in a separate video, but in this video, I want to talk more about long-term positions. If you have a long-term time horizon, as in a year, 2 years, 5 years, realistically, I would say probably 2 years or more is where this would actually pertain to you. You should be getting super excited right now because the market is presenting you a great opportunity to start buying some of these positions at a minimum of a 20% discount, even more. Let me put it into perspective a different way. Think about your favorite product, whatever it is. Maybe it's a food product, maybe it's a steak, maybe it's some kind of meat, maybe it's a favorite cereal. I mean, seriously, who doesn't love a good box of cereal? Maybe it's donuts, maybe it's ice cream. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. Maybe it's your favorite clothing brand. Doesn't matter. Whatever your favorite item is. Maybe it's your favorite car, for example. Maybe you want a Ferrari, a Lamborghini. Doesn't really matter. Literally, it does not matter to anything. Picture this, though. Picture your favorite item, whatever it is, and all of a sudden you get a weird intuition that you should go visit that store today because you have this great idea that there might be a sale. You pull up to the store, you walk in, and as soon as you walk in the door, there's a huge sign that says, today only for the next 25 minutes, 20% off everything. Are you going to buy something, or are you going to sit around and say, no, I'm not interested? Yeah, right. You're going to buy probably as much as you possibly can because you're thinking, this is great. This item never goes on sale. This is my favorite item. And I just walked in because I had this weird intuition. And now here I am getting a 20% discount. Are you excited? Yeah, you're excited. Of course you are. You're probably going to buy a couple of them, right? Because it's your favorite item and now you're getting a discount. The same thing goes with the stock market. When the market comes down and we're in a bear market or prices continue to trend lower, I can tell you this much. It's not going to zero. The market will not go to zero. It will not be allowed to go to zero. Why? Why am I so certain about that? There's just no way. There's no way. Here's the thing. All the big banks, the institutions, the hedge funds, pretty much everybody on Wall Street, individual investors, as well as the market makers, pretty much everybody, okay? The Federal Reserve, all of these huge institutions with literally unlimited amounts of money will step in and push this market higher. They will not allow it to go to zero. This market going to zero is not a thing. It's impossible. It will not go to zero, okay? Let's put it this way. If the market goes to zero, the world will pretty much be done, okay? So let's just say that much. It's not happening. So here's the thing. Knowing that we have the reassurance behind all these huge banks, say JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, what is the other one? Goldman Sachs. I mean, seriously, these are just a couple of them. Merrill Lynch. We have all these huge institutions, all the hedge funds out there, the Bridgewaters of the world, right? All of these huge institutions, and of course, the Federal Reserve, who has an unlimited amount of money. They're going to come in, and when this market is timed perfectly, don't get me wrong, they're going to step into this thing, and they are going to buy every last possible thing they can. So there's no way. Realistically, this market essentially only has upside to it. Yes, of course, it will go down, which is great. That's a great opportunity where we can be like the little minnows in the ocean, and we can follow the whales around. Who are the whales? The whales are the huge institutions. The whales are the Federal Reserves of the world that come out with unlimited amounts of money and they start gobbling up all kinds of stuff. And we can be the little minnows and the little, the little plankton type things that suck right onto the side of a big whale and just float it around and take advantage of what they're doing, right? It's the same thing in the stock market. So rather than looking at the situation as, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm losing all my money, don't look at it that way. It is not a loss in your portfolio until you sell, until you realize that loss. But what you should be looking at is, what do I want to start buying? Things are on sale. What would I like to do? It's a clearance. It's a Black Friday sale right here, right now on some of my favorite products. What do I want to start buying? Or Maybe you're looking at the situation like me, and I do not think that this bear market is even close to being over. I think we have another major leg coming in, another major leg lower, I should say, which, by the way, that's just my opinion. I could be 100% wrong, but in my opinion, I do think there is going to be another major leg lower, and that's going to be the big plunge, followed by capitulation and a bottom in the market. The Fed will come in, and everybody will come in, bail this thing out, and we're going to get a rip-roaring rally back out of this thing. Again, that's my opinion. That's how I foresee this thing happening. As a result of that, I am looking at different positions as far as what do I want to do when the opportunity comes in, when we get the big plunge, when we get the capitulation, when we get everything falling out, the rug pull, when we get it all happening at the same time, what do I want to start buying? Well, the answer is virtually everything, okay? Anything and everything you want to start looking at, okay? So here's what I want to suggest that you do. Do your research now. Whatever it is that interests you now, do your research now. Get a shopping list. Get your shopping list going just like a responsible person when they go to the grocery store, right? Everybody has their shopping list. Same thing with the stock market. Start getting your shopping list ready now. When you start to see this thing rolling over and when we see the prices coming in right where you start feeling comfortable, start buying in. Again, not advice. I'm just simply telling you this is what you should be doing. You should be looking at the opportunity to buy this market versus freaking out and selling everything. Don't worry about selling, especially if you have a long-term horizon on this thing, couple years, 2 years, 5 years, or even longer. You shouldn't even be thinking about selling right now. You should be looking at how can I expand my portfolio at a discount right now. That's the only thing you should be thinking about. Selling should not even be coming across your mind right now if your time horizon is at least a couple years long, right? You should only be looking at what can I buy? What can I buy? What can I buy? That's the only thing you should be thinking about right now. So anyway, it's what I want to point out for you because I know it's very easy to become very emotional. When you see the market rolling over, you see the market going down, the only thing we can think about is it's going to zero. I'm losing everything. I got to get out. That's probably the worst thing you could be doing right now. The worst thing you could possibly do during a major move lower in the stock market is exiting your position. What you could be doing is dollar cost averaging in. This is something that many people talk about, which is simply just putting your buying on a schedule. Basically, maybe you buy, a little bit every week, maybe a teeny tiny bit every day, maybe a couple times per month, whatever works for you in your situation. And no matter what, you're going in and you're buying. And the market's going up, the market's going down, you're just buying and you're dollar cost averaging into these positions. I know that a lot of people talk about this. But again, it's something you could implement if you're trying to build a bigger position. This is how you can do it, and this is a great time to start doing this because prices are down. Like I said, you got that 20% discount going on right now, and at some point, in my opinion, I do believe that we're going to be coming in here, and you're going to walk into your favorite store here before too long, and that sign before it said 20%, and it might be saying 30, 40, 50% at some point here. So again, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the big plunge. If I'm wrong, that's my problem. But again, if I'm right, I'm going to be super happy, right? I'm not looking about selling anything other than shorting. But again, shorting is just a short-term thing to ride the sucker lower and then reverse and ride it on higher. You know what I mean? So anyway, hope this gives you some ideas as far as what you should be doing right now, which is thinking about buying. And you should absolutely 100% stop thinking about selling. There's no point. Unless your time horizon is next week, then yeah, you might want to get out of some positions. But if your time horizon is a couple years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 2 years, anything like this or longer, the only thing you should be thinking is about the buy button. That's it. Again, just want to throw this out there for you. Anyway, I hope this one helps you out. Of course, I'm going to continue watching this market very closely as I do every single day, and just like everything else, because there are some great opportunities. There's some pretty exciting times coming ahead of us, and of course, I'll keep you posted with anything else that I find. Anyway, think about this. Again, I know it's hard to kind of avoid some of the emotions, but just think out a few years from now. Don't worry about today. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about next week or next month. Think long term, and it'll serve you in the future. Anyway, hope this one helps you. Again, please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out some of the other thousands of videos right here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day, have a good one, and I'll catch you again later in the next video.